everybody, Steven Shore here at Nanneman Motorsports. Another Saturday. Got some footage throughout this week. Worked on the PRW car. Took the proportionate valves off the brake lines, and I'll have some of that video. And then worked on the new Hedgecock, moved it, and then this morning we going to move the shop around. I'm going to start working on setup on the PRW car. I got some things we're waiting to hear back as far as sponsorship marketing. It's going to kind of decide how much I race and when we'll race, but going to go ahead and start working on that. Jeff's getting a body for the Hedgecock car Monday, so we'll start on that too. But like I said, got some footage from when we were taking off the proportionate valves, and then also from nut and bolt checking this car when we had it up on the lift. But going to move the shop around, get working on the car. What's your thoughts this morning, Larry?
My thoughts? I don't have any thoughts.
What's the plan?
Well, we got to bleed the brakes because we took the proportion valves off, and then we'll have to reset our proportionally front to back pressures. We'll have to put gauges on the calipers, set our front to back percentage on our brakes. Now that the proportion valves are off, get that back in spot, and pull the left front shock off and put it on the machine. I want to check the rebound on it. That's about it. We get it to where we can get it back on scales and see where we're at.
So like I said, it's going to kind of be a hodgepodge video. Like I said, I got some of the stuff earlier in the week, and then as you can see, we already moved the cars around, but I got footage just moving everything around in here. But going to be a little different stuff. We're kind of all over the place right now. What we're doing, especially for the video, we're doing multiple days all into one. There's just no way. I just don't have time to put up daily videos or videos a couple times a week, but too busy working at Freightliner, Daimler, and then working here in the shop. So, but hope y'all enjoy. So we got the valve out. Now we're gonna run a new brake line. Run a new brake line without a proportion valve there. So, and what were you saying earlier about the degrees?
Yeah, the AN fittings are 37 degrees, and your standard automotive stuff is 45 degrees. And if people have a problem with their lines leaking, it might be because they use a 45 flaring tool, thinking that brake lines are all 45, and they're not. The ANs are 37. So the angles are off. If you squeeze them tight enough or wrench them tight enough and the stuff's soft enough, especially if you're using aluminum, it'll probably seat, but not the proper way.
So we got the new brake line in. Got the proportionate valve out of there. You want to explain why we're taking the proportionate valves off?
The seals inside them proportioning valves are leaking, and it's a Wellwood valve, and they don't have a cure for it yet. And what happens is it bypasses and it drags the brake.
So last race of the year last year that we ran, come in and we was kind of smoking the right front, and we got to looking at it, and Larry got to talking to some people, and pretty much most of the people have kind of went away from the proportionate valve. So we're taking them off and going to run these straight lines. But
I actually, Jay Hedgecock told us when we bought the new car.
So gonna make another line here for the rear, and use this fancy dancy tool they got. Most people know you name your race cars. So Jeff's already named the cars. So
we did have a name on it last year. This one's Beth, and that one's Rip.
So So I guess we're going to go. Told him that pretty good name because Beth's a little moody. So we'll. I don't think I took y'all in here to the actual office, but what are you doing, Larry?
Checking this camshaft.
See, most people pay really, really good money to have somebody like Larry, but we're blessed.
And I'm wore out.
See that right there? Some of the reasons why we nut and bolt check.
What's that?
Thing's sitting out somewhere at Tri-County Motor Speedway. Left front off. We're checking it now. We're going to run it up through travel, see where our rating is, and we made some adjustments at the racetrack, trying to see exactly where we're sitting at now.
And this here digital scale here is, I can run it up inch at a time or a quarter inch or eighth inch and check pressure as we go and graph it.
I'm not really going to show it, but as it goes, it'll change.
Oh, that's okay.
It'll change our rating and all that. So
We're going to change this anyway, so it just basically, see that we got it inch and 11/16 in it right now. I can run it up, let's say 2 inches on the digital and read our pressure. So the whole thing is knowing your shock eye to eye on at right height and what the shock eye to eye is in dynamic pressure. So if you're going to say we want to go to a stiffer spring or a softer spring or whatever at the racetrack and take this assembly and put it in here, running up our eye-to-eye measurements just to verify the pressure that we are on at the racetrack, put a stiffer spring in or a softer spring or whatever and running up that eye-to-eye and adjust the adjuster on the coilover to get that pressure at eye-to-eye. So there's no guesswork. You can change your spring at the racetrack, put it on the machine, run it at the eye-to-eye and your dynamic pressure and see where you're at. Change your spring and duplicate those pressures by adjusting this. And when you put it on the back on the car, if you had it on scales, it would be right on the same number, even though you put a stiffer or softer spring in or whatever. So
Yeah. See, the other good thing is with this, like we said, we was the driver continuously complains about being tight on entry, so Larry made some adjustments, and we went a couple rounds on the left front, so now we can put it right back on the machine and see exactly where we are compared to before. So pretty much really cool machine. Pretty much got to have it nowadays in late models, but or be willing to pay somebody else a lot of money to do it all for you. But again, luckily we got the brains here with
well,
Larry.
you gotta. The way it is nowadays, running on the bumps and everything else. Well, even changing a spring. I mean, back in the day, you would kind of duplicate the same thing manually. We used to have a number from the wheel rim to a tape line on your fender, whatever, it would come out, say 12 inches, and you put a different spring in it, set it back on the ground, and keep adjusting until you get back up to that number, and that would actually doing the same as this, but not quite as accurate.
Yeah.
But that's how we used to do it. Nowadays, that doesn't work that way anymore. You got two fine adjustments, and then you got the bump pressure that you got to put in with this spring rate, and you have the same thing, an eye to eye on your bump sticks. So, and you keep track of those numbers. And I can take just for sake of explanation, on a bump stick, say I got a 3,000 pound bump spring in it, and I make an adjustment with a packer, I can put it on here and run it back through here just like we did this. The eye-to-eye measurements and dynamic numbers, see what pressures we're at. I mean, once you make changes at the racetrack and say you like what you have at the racetrack, you can come back here or do it at the racetrack for that matter and take everything off the car and put it in the machine and see what those pressures actually were, those adjustments you made, and make note of it. And when you go back to that racetrack, you have a baseline or what you ran the last time. So you can dial yourself right back in from one track to the other. So it's just a lot of note keeping, and that's basic. It is. It's keeping track of all your numbers and things.
This is part of it that a lot of people don't see and don't really know about. There's a lot that goes into it.
Do it slow, let the pedal come all the way back. You might have to pull the pedal back with your shoe.
Narrow up those wrenches so they'll fit in them leaders, the rubber. You got pedal?
You got pedal?
Yeah.
Hold it down. Press the bleeder.
You got it down?
Yes, sir.
Alright, I got mine tight again.
Pump it up.
Alright.
Okay, I'm opening it. I didn't get any air that time.
Tighten yours up.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so another day here at the shop. We're calling it a day. We've been here all day. So got the PRW car up on the pads. Got it ready. We're going to scale it out first of the week. I know I said at the beginning of this video that wasn't quite sure what our racing plans was, but after the talk today in the shop and Larry and Jeff's approval, Jeff came by here. He worked a 16-hour shift, so he caught it a little early. Still came by here after working all that time. But so after some further discussions, by the time I post this video, we've decided we're going to go run the first race for the Big Ten Saturday at Hickory. Big thanks to Finding the More Ministries. They're going to cover the tires and the fuel for this race, and then like I said, we're working on some other stuff. Hopefully that comes through by the time the second race comes in. But good Lord willing, we're gonna get this thing done this week. I got some changes to do. Like I said, got to scale it out. Larry's got to work his magic swapping out the carburetor and stuff, because we're going to run limited late models. But yeah, it's been a productive day. What do you think, Larry?
Yeah.
About tuckered. So we're gonna eat some dinner and watch Hickory's race tonight on Flow. So that's a good thing about Hickory Motor Speedway. You can go to Flow Racing, catch out all the live racing. So yeah, we're especially doing I'll try to do a race day vlog, just depends how much help we got, but I'll at least have some in-car footage and stuff like that for the next video, and I'll probably try to do some stuff while we're scaling out and all that kind of stuff this week. But again, I really appreciate Pastor Rick and his wife Mitzi and everybody from Finding the More Ministries for helping us out this Saturday to kind of see how this shakes out with what we got going on the other side. But appreciate y'all watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Try to do our best to get back to y'all. But thank y'all for watching. Remember, Jesus loves you.